Hello and welcome back. This is just going to be a quick update video. I've been working on the mill, needed a few pots and everything else. Just been trying to get that together to get down here in the shop cleaned up. That coupled with running around at work, and I've been fighting a head cold, as you can tell by my voice. And in some of the upcoming videos, I sound like a fat kid trying to run a marathon. But the temperature around here has been crazy. I mean, we're up in the 50s, and all of a sudden it dropped to below zero temperature, back up to 30, back down to 20. I think today was in the high 40s. Tomorrow's going to be in the teens, and then this weekend's going to be in the 60s. So we've been doing this. But we made a lot of progress on the mill, and I wanted to show you some new acquisitions that we got for the mill. And by the way, if anybody needed to know or didn't know, one of what I've been kind of following and using is this book here, and it's covered over here, but it says by Alien Industries. You can get this through HW Machine, or you can also get this directly from eBay, and they make a guide for the regular J-head step pulley and also the 2J variable speed, and this has pretty much been an invaluable resource. This is. So we definitely got a little progress and stuff on the mill I want to show you guys. Some of you guys on Facebook have probably already seen it. We got some new acquisitions that we have for the mill. And also, I found actually a couple of pictures online. I was trying to get pictures of the Harvard, the cyclotron lab where this came from. And I actually found pictures of one of the machinists that ran that shop, that worked there. I found a picture of him. And this is the man I had talked to on the phone about what they did there. I found a picture of him turning the plexiglass discs that I talked about in the previous video, and I also found a picture of the actual end of the cyclotron, the aperture where they actually put these discs and brass pieces to focus the radiation. Looks like a giant, pretty much a giant arm. And that's where the pieces that he built, they put into there to direct the radiation. So I found a couple pictures of those, and we'll throw them up here. Before we get to the stuff on the table, with this mill in the videos, I have a ton of footage to go through. So it's going to take a while to edit it all. And I'm going to split it up into sections, so there'll probably be a whole section of just putting the actual column together. There'll be another one just on the oiling system. There'll be probably a short one on how to adjust the backlash and the gibs. There will be another one on probably mounting the head and going through the head. There might be a multi-part one because that is involved, and also there's going to be another separate one completely on the electrical to it. So I mean, we got some time involved, and we got some videos and some editing to go through. So hope you guys enjoy all the videos once I get them done, but it's just going to take a little bit. So bear with me on that. So anyway, let's get to the bench and take a look at some of the new stuff. Okay, so these items here, we took advantage of the 30% off Enco's sale, and we got ourselves a new drawbar for the mill. I also got some a set of collets. They're from 1/8 inch to 7/8 by 16. They are offshore. They're MHC brand, but they look fine. They will absolutely get me by for now. And it came with this kind of pot metal rack that says China in big letters right in the middle. And you can see the tabs are radiused, and this will fit on the actual turret, the very top of the turret. It'll fit flush up against that, so we can bolt that there and mount all our collets. Now this next item, it's a funny story about this. On Enco's website, there are 3 versions of this. One of them says from cheapest to most expensive. One of them says import, just import as a brand. The other one says Interstate as a brand, which is like Enco's in-house deal. And then the other one says Tico, which is the Made in USA name brand. And so, just for S&Gs, I clicked on all three and went through to the shipping end. And what is funny, and I'll show you a screenshot of this, if you look at the first two, right underneath it, right underneath the description of the item, and this is in the shipping side, the import one and the interstate one both say in big red letters, hazardous materials are not returnable. So I don't know if they're made out of nuclear, spent nuclear fuel rods, or what the hell those things are made of. But either way, I spent the extra, I think, extra few bucks, and got the Tico one, made in USA. It doesn't cause cancer. See, it says USA, and this is the strap clamp set for this mill. And I just double checked with the file real quick. And everything in here is properly hardened. Everything skates right off of it. So it's a really good set. You're not going to get pot metal strap clamps like you may if you got the offshore ones. So I would recommend spending the extra dollars and making sure you don't grow another head and get the Tico set. So I stopped by my used tool guy, and it just so happens that he had to have bought out a home shop, and he had everything for a mill, from 1, 2, 3 blocks, 4, 5, 6 blocks, angle blocks, anything you could imagine he had there. And I could have went hog wild, and I wanted to, but you gotta hold yourself back sometimes. But anyway, I got some things that really needed for the mill, and this is actually a SPI set of parallels. They're 1/8 inch parallels, and they go from 1/2 inch to 1 5/8 inches. So we got a nice set of decent parallels for the mill. And we also got, or have, a set of, this is Enco, name brand, in-house deal, set of angle blocks for use on the mill too. So definitely some nice things to have. I also got this little guy, and this is engraved. It says Dave Pratt. This is just a tapping block, and actually this is going to come in handy when we go to tap the holes in the column of the mill to mount the DRO and mount the what do I got to mount? I got to mount the DRO, I got to mount the light, and I got to mount the collet holder. So actually that's going to come in quite handy. Also went and picked up a few more end mills. A lot of these smaller guys I've had, for doing milling on the salt bend, anything up to about 1/2 inch. These little big guys I picked up here and there, and these 60-degree cutters here I've had. But yeah, so I got to fill this out. This is all I have for milling cutters, so we definitely got to start picking up a few lots of different sizes and things like that. But we picked up this larger double ender, this larger reduced shank, this guy at the used tool guy, and a small no, that's a 3/8 carbide I picked up from him. And it was also it should have been, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, the carbide ball end mill, you can see there, I picked up. So we're gonna fill it with a few of the larger sizes and different flute configurations, but you know, that's the eventual thing. At least this will give me something to be able to, oh, I picked up one other one actually. 3/4 double ender I picked up, brand new. So, you know, still got to add to the collection here, but at least this will give me something to start playing with the mill once I get it up and running. Now the next couple of things I got a while ago, and we got a nice set of M2, some minor set pin gauges from 1/4 to 1/2 inch. This is an SPI set, SPI brand, and it comes with a little go no go holder there. Everything, I think that there was one here that had a little bit of rust on it, but not that much. That one, that's the dirtiest one out of all of them, and some of them are still wrapped in the paper. Now this last thing is pretty cool. Who doesn't like things in wooden boxes? And that's a really nice clasp on it. Okay, so now what in the hell is this? Alright, this is a Pratt & Whitney end measure set. Okay, you can see it right here with the micrometers. Now, this is inspected 3/14/40, 1940 is when these are from. Now, what you have here is two micrometers, and we'll zoom in on this after, or I'll get some good pictures of this. You get 2 micrometers here, right? One's red, one's green, and then you have these rods. These rods are precision measured rods. So these are, you have 3 12-inch, 2 6-inch, 2 3-inch, 2 2-inch, and 2 1-inch. These are to accurately position a jig borer table. The jig borer will have a guide or a trough on the side and of both axes, and you could take these end measures, these precision rods, lay them down in the track, and in combination with this micrometer that you can set, you can measure an accurate distance of that table off a given point. And that's how they did accurate measurements on jig borers before DROs. Well, you would use a set of these. Now, they're not really useful to us now, but they are actually kind of useful as standards. Those make really, really good standards to calibrate your micrometers with. I think a set cost me 15 to 20 bucks I picked it up for. And I just really like the looks of it, and like I said, I wanted to use these for standards. And we'll get some good pictures of these mics because they're kind of interesting, and they're actually made by Brown & Sharp. They say Brown & Sharp Manufacturing, and then on this collar it says Pratt & Whitney. And if you look at the Brown & Sharp micrometers, you can get ones that look like this, where these rods, they look a little bit different, but they would screw on to the end, and they look almost the same as these. It's pretty cool thing though. Alright, so let's go take a look at the mill, see where we're at. Alright, so here's where we're at with the progress of the Bridgeport. And we have everything together. Table's on, everything works, power feed works, the oil pump is on, plumbed. Now, I have the wiring run to in this general area. It's not in its permanent position, it's just hanging. I'm going to mount everything to the wall, and we'll go through all that, you know, when we start doing the wiring stuff. Now, when I started this up, I started it and ran it for a few seconds, and I was getting a bearing noise. And, excuse me, I was trying to track it down. And it's not coming from the spindle, which is good. So those are nice and quiet. It's not coming from the ball gear bearings here. Those are whisper silent. Now there's a ton of oil and grease in there that needs to be taken out. This all needs to be cleaned up. But it needs to be taken apart to do it. I tracked the noise down to the bearings inside this cone pulley. And then we spin it up to the camera for you. So there are 2 bearings underneath those nuts that I need to replace. And they're on their way. They should be here this weekend. So I can take that pulley apart and get those in, and then we can go on to the next step. So that's where we're sitting right now with the mill. And we'll start editing videos and start getting some out. But first, just this little update.